to you and welcome to Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bienvenidos. We begin with an update on some of the images you've seen lately linked to deportations, immigration, and raids. One of the organizations that has become an important resource for many families that fear deportation is the Resurrection Project, which is celebrating, by the way, 35 years. Joining us with an update is Erendira Rendon. She created TRP's Immigration Justice Department and serves as the organization's lead strategist. Hello, and thank you for coming in. Always nice to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we've seen all of these images time and time again where there are clashes between protesters and some of the ICE officers. What is being done, I guess, on the ground to make sure that people have a chance to protest and get their message out, but so that there aren't these confrontations and these issues and somebody, people don't continue to get hurt?
Yeah, well, generally what we've been seeing is protesters in 3 different places. There's been some very peaceful, great demonstrations downtown, marches, folks asking for having ICE leave the city, leave Illinois, and also making sure that troops do not come in, which is a little unknown right now. We've also seen folks that are going around and trying to stop people from getting arrested. We've been seeing ICE, be very aggressive with pulling people over and then breaking their windows, pulling people out of vehicles. And so folks have been recording that so that we can demonstrate that these are illegal arrests. They don't have warrants to arrest folks, and basically just arresting people because of racial profiling. And then we've also seen what's happening at Broadview, which is there's an immigration processing center there, and folks have been protesting for a long time. They're also trying to block.
And we're looking at some video here. I believe this is from Broadview.
Yes.
So yeah, with the tear gas and things like that, and that just escalates the situation, I think, sometimes.
Well, I think what has been happening is that protesters have been trying to block buses from leaving because many times those buses go to detention centers or they even go to the airport. And so as that has happened, ICE has full military gear and has been using tear gas, has been using rubber bullets, and we're calling on ICE to stop using that type of tactics. People have the right to protest. It's been peaceful, and as long as there isn't an escalation, they should continue to be able to do so.
Okay. Have they been responsive to some of your requests, I guess, is my next question.
ICE has not been responsive to any of our requests, neither has the federal government. But what we need to do is make sure that people know what their rights are.
Okay. I also want to talk about some of these arrests that have happened. We know there have been hundreds of them, I guess we could say, but there haven't been sort of hard numbers from the Trump administration, from ICE officials. Do we have a sense of how many people have been arrested at this point and how many of them have been able to get the help that they need to get appropriate representation?
One of the first things that the Trump administration did when it took office is it took down data. So ICE used to very publicly say how many people were arrested, who was in the process of deportation. We could publicly see if folks were actually convicted of a crime. They took all of that information down. The only thing we know is from January 1 until July 30, until the end of July, there were approximately 1,470 arrests, 60% no criminal conviction at all. What we know is that in the first 2 weeks of September, according to ICE, they did about 500 arrests. We, in the month of September, we just closed the month, received over 370 requests for legal assistance. And so we think that the number in the last few weeks increase a whole lot. We'll actually be releasing dashboards for folks that are requesting legal services beginning tomorrow. Every single week, we will be releasing our own dashboards. It's not a complete picture, but it is who's reaching out to us asking for assistance.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it's like for your organization, for attorneys, immigration attorneys, who right now are sort of trying to wrap their arms around what this is like and where they go from here, right? I gotta imagine it's extremely stressful.
Yeah, this is definitely uncharted territories. We've never seen anything like this. We saw, I think over the weekend, you may have seen an entire family be arrested at Millennium Park. We saw an entire family with a 4-year-old girl arrested in Humboldt Park. And every single day that goes by, we've seen an escalation in the tactics that are being used and in the number of arrests that are happening. We aren't going to be able to meet the entire demand. And so we are going to do the very best possible by collaborating with all the organizations across the state to help. And we're coming up with creative solutions to be able to, at the very least, talk to the detained individual, talk to their family, tell them about the process, and we'll try to stop as many deportations as possible. But there's also a lot that's happening inside the courts that people don't always see. For instance, there's now mandatory detention for most people. So we can't even request a bond for people to be able to be released and then continue their case. Folks are being sent to Indiana, to Texas, to Kansas, to Kentucky, to Wisconsin. And so it's very difficult for us to find our clients. When folks are in Broadview, we are not able to communicate with our clients. And so the challenges are, yes, what's happening in the street, it's awful, it's horrific, people are very, very scared, but also once people are detained, there's also massive abuse, and there's a lack of due process.
Yeah, well, your work is important, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
I want to move on to talk about some of the other things that you do, because I think folks think immigration and everything that's happening and the Resurrection Project coming in, but you're also working on affordable housing. There's a lot being done in that angle, domestic violence, breast cancer awareness. Let's start with affordable housing, because you've got big news when it comes to that.
Yeah, so, TRP is right at the forefront for two of the biggest issues of our time, right? Immigration, and then also our housing crisis that we've been seeing. We did just break ground on our newest affordable apartments called Casa Yucatan in Pilsen. And, we have hundreds of affordable apartments in Pilsen, Little Village, Back of the Yards, Melrose Park, and making sure that our families are able to stay, because as the housing crisis continues to evolve, it becomes much more expensive for our families to be able to continue to rent. Also, equally important for us is home ownership. So we do lots of work on making sure that families know what credit is, how to build credit, how to establish it, and then how to make it where it needs to be, and how to increase your savings so that you can buy a home. We believe it's important for families to start owning their home, because that allows us to stay in our communities, but it also allows us to make sure that the future generation has some stability to be able to leap into.
And it builds generational wealth,
yes.
which is what we all talk about, and how important it is for our communities. You're celebrating 35 years, which is spectacular. I know there's a gala coming up. I think it is sold out, which tells you the amount of support that there is for the Resurrection Project, right?
Yeah, so we're very excited that, we've been doing this work for 35 years, excited to celebrate. Even in difficult times, we should remember what we have been able to create and the impact that our communities have had in Chicago. But we are always, looking for more donations, so you can visit our website, because now more than ever, this work is crucial to continue to protect our communities, protect the city, and protect immigrants who live here.
Okay, the Resurrection Project, there's the information on your screen, resurrectionproject.org. Thank you so much, Ede. We appreciate
Thank you
you.
for this.
Okay.